We are lucky to have plenty of natural wonders right here on Earth. Mother Nature, however, sometimes wants to throw us for a loop and make this world a bit strange rather than just beautiful. Today we will show you some of the most mind-blowing anomalies of nature. Fasciation of flowers. Without question, the natural world is incredibly interesting, especially when Mother Nature lets her creative side run wild. This here is a natural example of a phenomenon known as plant fasciation. Due to an imbalance in hormones in the development cells of plants, an uncommon illness known as fascination promotes aberrant growths in plants. Other plants, such as fruit, can also experience these developmental stutters, frequently with far more bizarre outcomes. The term coxcomb strawberries refers to this fasciated fruit, which resembles 10 strawberries linked together. It's not common to come across one of these in a grocery store, since they're already rare and tend to be weeded out for their strange looks. But despite their appearance, they are generally safe to eat. Jellyfish Sprite. This is a fascinating jellyfish sprite, a fleeting red lightning occurrence that appears completely upside down. Red lightning, like regular lightning, is caused by an accumulation of electrical charge in the clouds. However, in this instance, the charge is released upward into the mesosphere and beyond, as opposed to downward towards the ground. Jellyfish sprites, named after its namesake in the ocean, are distinguished by their remarkable physical resemblance. They can reach heights and widths of up to 31 kilometers. Though they only come into view for a few milliseconds at a time, they are nonetheless incredibly difficult to see in person despite their size. Similar to how the northern lights display such vivid colors, scientists believe the sprite's color results from a reaction between their strong electrical discharge and the nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen of the high atmosphere. An egg inside of an egg. Which came first, the egg or the chicken? It appears that this egg was able to lay its own egg for some reason. West Liberty, Kentucky chicken farmer Johanna Thornberry discovered in May 2022 that one of her hens had laid an unusually enormous egg. She cracked it open and discovered that the yolk was occupying the same space as a second, completely developed egg. There is a biological reason for this exceptional aberration in nature. Every 18 to 26 hours, on average, a hen will ovulate and release an egg cell. Along the way to laying, the yolk of that egg passes through the oviduct and gradually acquires layers of membranes, egg white, and the calcium carbonate that forms the shell. Sometimes, though, a second egg cell is discharged before the first has had a chance to fully develop. The first egg cell reverses course when the second egg cell contracts as a result of its release. Then, the first egg will merge with the freshly released egg cell, which will eventually swallow the original egg, resulting in a very huge egg. This process is known as a counterperistalsis contraction. Only 1 in every 100,000 eggs has this trait. Bycallin. It's been said that life frequently imitates art, yet on the frozen surface of Siberia's Lake Baikal, nature creates art on its own terms. There, on the frozen surface of the lake, are flat rocks that are amazingly poised atop slender ice pedestals. Because this incredibly unusual event has only ever been documented on Lake Baikal, scientists have named this phenomenon Bycallin. For decades, scientists have been attempting to understand the mystery of Bycallin. Nevertheless, we may now have an answer. Scientists refer to a naturally occurring phenomenon called sublimation, in which, in regions with temperatures below freezing, solar energy transforms ice directly into gas without first melting into water. On the basis of this idea, a team of French physicists stated in 2021 that they had successfully replicated Bycallin within a lab setting. The experiment showed that pebbles are frequently carried onto Lake Baikal's icy surface by strong winds after the lake freezes over. A little column of ice is prevented from sublimating by the pebble, which functions as a form of umbrella shade when the surrounding frosty surface starts to melt in the midday sun. These exquisite little sculptures can take several weeks to complete. Although art is frequently regarded as the pinnacle of human expression, Mother Nature is actually the best sculptor of all. Mud volcano. In 2019, a scientist from Canada captured this ferocious mixture of thick, boiling mud on camera. The strange bubbling mud volcano is situated outside of Kaohsiung, Taiwan, near Yangpu Pond. At first glance, the pool can appear to be a scientific enigma because it can burn for 5 minutes after being ignited. But the kind of mud in this puddle isn't the same as what you may find in your typical backyard. The intriguing features of the mud are a result of trapped gases rising to the surface of the earth and microorganisms that can break down mud and water into methane, which feeds the captivating flames. Chimerism. As they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but this next hilarious fruit is guaranteed to grab the attention of everyone on the planet, not just your doctor. British gardener Ken Morris discovered a mystery hanging in his backyard apple tree in 2009. This unusual apple, which was taken from a golden delicious variety tree, had chimerism, which is the appearance of a perfect split between green and red on the peel. Greek mythology describes the chimera as a hideous hybrid being that combines elements of a lion, goat, and snake. However, in actuality, the term chimera refers to an organism in which two or more genetically distinct tissues merge, or, more likely in the case of this apple, a mutation that takes place in one or more cells at an early stage of development and results in the development of distinct traits in different parts of the organism. Gardeners estimate that there are 1,000,000 to 1 odds of finding a chimera apple, but even rarer are other natural occurrences of double eyesight. Introducing Chimera, the multifaceted house cat named for her unique genetic makeup that allows her to have two distinct furry faces at once. This adorable cat initially gives the appearance of a chimera, which is a condition in which two embryos combine in the womb to form a single creature with genetic material from two distinct sets of DNA. Scientists, however, believe Chimera is more likely a remarkable specimen of a calico cat than a chimera cat at all. Calico cats, in contrast to true chimeras, possess DNA from a single embryo, but distinct genetic components within each of their cells are randomly triggered, yielding distinct outcomes. In Chimera's instance, the genes responsible for orange fur were remarkably active in half of her face, whereas the other half had black activation. Her one blue eye, on the other hand, is from a hereditary deficiency in melanin, a substance needed to produce hues. It turns out that Chimera is one of only 2 cats in the world with clearly separated fur and 2 different colored eyes. The other cat may be as unusual as 1 in 300 million. Arcus Clouds. In 2012, a helicopter pilot over Panama City Beach, Florida, captured this amazing image, which appeared to show enormous, ethereal waves cascading over the waterfront condos. When warm, humid air rises and cools, it starts to condense and produce mist. Air traveling over the sea can become saturated with moisture. In the instance of Panama City Beach, the tall buildings that lined the shoreline served as a kind of barrier, causing the incoming mist to crest over the building tops and condense to produce these magnificent clouds that resembled waves. This is another example of an optical illusion, even though it appears like a massive tsunami is going to devour the area. These wavy clouds in the sky, often known as Arcus Clouds, are an amazing low-level cloud formation that were photographed in Cincinnati, Ohio in 2022. Arcus Clouds, such as this group of clouds seen in Sydney in 2015, provide a scary glimpse of what a landscape would look like in the event of a tidal wave of truly enormous proportions. The clouds themselves are not harmful, but because they are generated by the powerful downward gusts that accompany this type of meteorological occurrence, they typically signal the approach of a very intense thunderstorm. The warm, humid air is forced upwards by the swiftly spreading cold air as soon as these chilly downdrafts touch down. If the meteorological circumstances are exactly right, water vapor condenses into visible clouds as the warm air rises, giving rise to the swooshing patterns we see here. Thanks for watching. Which of these do you think is the most bizarre? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below.